Good morning. Emma Davis here. I'm a veterinary career coach and a veterinary business coach, and I've got some tips for you today for those of you in small business or looking to do a startup, and about getting a grant. So a grant in Australia is money from government or from a large corporation or even a not-for-profit if they believe in what you're working towards, and it's basically usually gifted to you. So it can be like from $5,000 or less dollars, $5,000, up to $200,000. And the larger ones usually they give it to you for a specific project, and usually you have to match it with funding from your own business. So if it's $200,000 from the government, because they want that innovation in Australia, then you need to usually come up with similar money to put on the table to say that you also agree in this innovative idea and that they'll back you in that. So, so I hope that the other countries out there have grants as well. We're very blessed in Australia to have this opportunity. So where do you get a grant from? So like I said, you can get them from state government, from federal government, and also for not-for-profits. So like the Smith family or, I don't even know which one. So the big... it'll come back to me in a minute. The big international corporates as well, or international not-for-profits, might have different funding to do different projects. So if you want to look at malaria, then the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation is probably pretty keen to match you and get a grant for your business idea. And likewise in Australia, 45% of our economy is based in small business. And so there's actually a lot of support around for small business. Small business in Australia is up to $2 million turnover, is one category, and I think up to 20 employees. And there's different ways of categorising what a startup is and whether you're eligible for these grants. But definitely it's worthwhile to look at if you've got a good business idea and it's going to help society, or if it's just an innovative idea that Australia wants to have and sell the idea overseas, or see you succeed so that Australia is seen as succeeding on that. So that's where you get them from. So how do you find them? Well, you want to know what the government is interested in at the moment, so what the agenda of the day is. Currently there's money around for women in leadership, for women on board roles. There is money for small business, startups, and they often give away some business support and stuff like that, and different they'll get different mentors and stuff rather than cash, and they'll come and support you with that. Definitely for innovation, and definitely for rural issues as well. So I'm sitting here in Yass in Australia. We're definitely affected by a drought, and there's definitely money and interest around to support startups that will keep people employed in rural Australia, and will the more self-sustaining it can be, or the better idea it is, then often the more money it can attract, and you can actually get a grant and then get another grant as well. So they're the things that are of interest to Australian government at the minute: is women in leadership, rural Australia, innovation, and small business. So if you're looking to start something up in that space, also wellness, because that's a big part of rural Australia as well. So I'm talking to people about different business ideas they've got around animals and how we can benefit society through the relationship we have with animals. Then we could look at the wellness aspect as well. Now that's my puppy being naughty. Excuse me, don't bark. So that's what you've got to know, what people are interested in, and likewise, if you've got an idea, then find out, that's not related to those things. Find out who the big players are in your industry, and they might be interested in coming alongside you and mentoring you, and or giving you some financial support as a grant, or giving you some airtime. At Veterinary Careers, our business, so we have a business, veterinarycareers.com.au. We definitely love to give airtime to people with interesting points of view around the veterinary profession. So if you're interested in that, reach out to me and I'll get you an interview, or get you some platform to get your opinions out there. So I can say positive for the profession, but yeah, but it's good to have the discussions and the diversity. So once you've found your, now that you know what you're looking for in your grants, where do you find them? So you can go and search them online. They're all usually online. You can register with the government sites and they'll send you auto updates, of course, like a job website, a job portal. Or there's actually paid grant sites that you can go and pay for, and then you can have access for a month or for a couple of months, and they'll send you, like, you just set up like an auto alert for types of grants that you'll be eligible for or you think you might be eligible for. They've also usually got an advisor there that can talk to you about your business and what might help, so it might help you crack open your thinking a bit and get a bit more diverse in your thinking. So that's one is called the Grant Hub. It's a really good one. It's an Australian one. What else? Okay, and then when you found your grant, you found your theme, you found your grant, you've got your business started, then you need to write this grant application. And so it's a bit like selection criteria for the government. Hi, Melinda. A bit like selection criteria for the government. It's a bit of an art in writing a grant application. They want to hear so much of your content, but they also want to have it provided in a format that they can quickly go through and make sense of and make decisions on. So there's actually a lot of good reasons to maybe engage a grant writer to get a more successful grant application written. So definitely lots of people out there make their income through writing grants and have different levels of success. And that's something, again, you can get onto through the Grants Hub, and you can find them just on, Fiverr and stuff like that, the websites where you can get people and employ them for different tasks. And yeah, so you want to just make sure that your money's going to a proven grant writer before you spend, or of course you can write it yourself. And if you're good at writing and you've written good job applications, you're confident that you're a master of the topic, then of course just do the writing yourself and get it down in there. It's just practice makes perfect, basically. But yeah, there are some tips and clues as to get their attention. And you know how when people sort through responses to a job, they'll only look at the top page and maybe the next page, and then they'll make a decision in or out. And it's similar with grant writing as well. So we want to capture their attention. Good morning. We want to capture their attention right from the start so that they read it through. We want to be to the point and concise, but also attention grabbing, so that you get your awesome business idea out there and hopefully get some support for it in that way. So yeah, so I'm Emma Davis. I'm a veterinary business and a veterinary career coach. If you're interested in starting up a business in the veterinary sector, or if you're interested in like grants to get more propel your business forward in the veterinary sector, you're right. No, I'm talking to the camera. The poor man. Poor guy, the cafe owner. He thinks I'm videotaping. I'm doing it myself. That's funny. Then reach out and I can just send me a like or a message below at the link and set up a time to talk to me, and we can set up a time to talk about your career and your business, and and help you get a grant if that's what you're after. So just to recap, so getting a grant is a great way to propel your business forward. You just want to know what the current climate is, what people are interested in at the minute. Australian government is always interested in small business because we have a huge amount of our economy is based on small business. So 45% of the Australian economy in last year was small business based. A small business being less than $2 million turnover, and up to 10, I think. There's another category there. And the government at the minute is interested in women, it's interested in women in leadership, it's interested in rural issues, interested in wellness issues, I think in the elderly, and getting women on boards, and also innovation, just basically pure innovation, because we're in such a flux of everyone moving forward that the government's spending money on innovation at the minute. And then you want to just find the grants, so you can go onto the websites and just put your email down and get them to send them straight to you, or you can go onto a grants hub, and there is one called the Grants Hub, and pay to access their grants, and I think you can apply through them as well, and also use their advisors as to what you're trying to find. They might be able to help you find something else as well, and and then get yourself a good grant writer, or sit down and write a really good grant application. And I can help you with all of that and more. And if you're interested in business coaching, then reach out and we'll get you sorted. Okay, love your veterinary career, guys. Bye.